Pati sa Teams Salinas, pa-send. On cam, ah. Pati sa Teams Salinas, pa-send. Tapos na ba lahat? May nagsasagot pa. Mag-react kayo. Tap. Ganon. Okay na?
Wait lang, boss.
Wow, bagong gising. Recorded pala po. Meron pa bang nagte-take? Tapos na daw si Elizel. Asa na si El? Paano na? Pa-share screen nung report natin.
Ito ba?
Yes. Ayan, asa ng mga kagrupo ko? Mag-on cam na kayo. Yung mga, pwede na kayo mag-off cam. Thank you.
We are alive. Kita.
Ayan, start na kami. So, kami yung group 2,
Pati sa
Alonso,
Teams.
Breva, Paulino, Salvador, tsaka San Gabriel. And yung topic na i-discuss namin ay yung rolling stock major parts, assemblies, and sub-assemblies. Nasa amin yung part 1. Next slide. And so, mag-energizer muna tayo. Yung energizer, wala pa munang cash prize. Yung na mismo, icebreaker. Ayan, nagbabalik kami ang murder mystery. So, ayan na. Case 1. Ako pala una magbabasa. Ayan. Anna was found dead in her house. Her mobile was next to her body. Tas yan yung nakalagay. 6444533. The primary suspects are her mother, Amy, her stepfather, Rick, her neighbor, Mike, her boyfriend, John. Having analyzed the scene of the crime, the police arrested the murderer who killed Anna. Na lang, raise hand. Wow. Group 7, Mike. Si Mike. Jofer, explain mo kung bakit si Mike. Sino si Borgie? Ba si Mike? Si Mike ba yung
Wait lang. Bakit mukha ko yung nakikita? Hindi niyo sinabi.
So, case 2,
Sorry.
the geography
wait,
teacher.
Sagot muna sa case 1. Ayun, tama si Jofer na si Mike. Tapos tama yung explanation ni Don. Kasi kapag yung pinindot sa keypad, yun yung letters na lalabas. Sige, next na.
Next case, case 2, the first day of the school year.
Ay,
Bakit mo ni mo?
sorry.
The geography teacher was murdered. The police had as many as 4 aspects. They were the gardener cutting bushes, math teacher checking the midterms papers, coach playing basketball, school principal in a meeting with parents. Who killed the teacher? Ang nauna ay si Kenneth ba?
Yes, Kenneth, explain mo kung bakit. Ayan. Perfect. Next case na. Walang midterms ng first day. Kanino to?
Kay Erica?
Asan nga pa si Paulino?
Wala si Nino.
Nawawala daw siya pag nag-open cam.
O, sige.
Yo, ako na. Hindi ko na. Okay na. So, an old man lives alone in a flat because of his age. He's not able to move comfortably, and so most of the things had to be delivered to his house. So on Friday, while delivering the mail, the postman feels something suspicious in the flat and tries to look inside through the keyhole, and he saw the body of the old man covered with blood. So a detective arrived on the scene. So outside the flat, he found 2 bottles of warm milk, Tuesday's newspaper, some unopened mails, and some gifts. So the detective immediately knows who the murderer is. Who was the murderer?
Bakit Gado? Tama yon, si newspaper. Ayan, tama. Kasi 'di ba ang nakita lang Tuesday newspaper. So parang alam niya na hindi niya na kailangan mag-deliver ng pang Wednesday, Thursday, ganun. Next case.
Case 4.
Mag-unmute naman kayo pag sasagot.
Case
Case
4.
4.
In a hotel, a man was sleeping when he heard a knock on the door. He shifted the blanket and stepped down from the bed. He waited the door and opened it to find a stranger standing outside. Upon opening the gate, the stranger said, "Pardon me, I must have made a mistake. I thought this was my room." The stranger then walked the corridor, climbed down the stairs. The man closed the door and immediately called the security. He asked them to arrest the stranger immediately. Why did he ask them to arrest the stranger? What made him suspicious?
Sabi ni Eman, alam daw yung exit. No. Gusto niya malaman if may kasama yung guy. Ayan, tama si Don. Don, unmute ka, explain mo.
Anong explain po?
Kung bakit siya naging yung sagot, iba siya naging suspicious.
Kasi hindi ka kakatok sa sarili mong room, dapat may susi ka.
Tama. Di ba sabi kasi, kumatok pa siya, tapos sabi, I thought this was my room. So, kung room mo yun, bakit ka kakatok? Scary. No, next. Ray ba sa'yo ata? Tama ba? Yan. Basahin mo lang.
Sorry. Okay. Case 5. Newborn. A newborn named Nigel was poisoned with arsenic. Nobody came to their home after Nigel's birth. His mother only breastfed him and never gave him any other food. No one could touch him but her. One day, Nigel's elder brother, Dave, come to the station and confessed he poisoned Nigel because he was jealous. How did he do it? Ayan.
Sabi ni Gado, pinainom daw ng tubig ng bata. Tama. No. Kaya pa ba? Go hula. Niyakap ng Dave mother niya. Hindi. Pwede ba yung in-expose niya yung bata through air? Meron siyang ginamit na medium. Yeah, parang ganun. Ayan. Ay, explain. Paano pinadede? May kulang. Ayan. Sagutan ni Bado. Bale, yung nanay niya muna yung pinapainom niya ng arsenic. Tapos yung, ayun. Bakit si Dave ang nag-breastfeed? It's Nigel yung bata. Yun. Nainom ni Nigel yung yung arsenic sa nanay niya. Ayan. Next case. Ayan ang haba. Pero yung mga naka-bold lang yung intindihin nyo. And famous columnist Max Worthington was found deceased at his manual typewriter, fatally stabbed in the back. His agent, Roger, found his body when he went to check on Max to see why he hadn't submitted his latest column. He then called the police. The dispatcher sent detectives to investigate. So Max had apparently been writing his column when he was killed, and that the last thing typed was, ayan, yung Jejemon. Apparently a random string of numbers and letters created when his lifeless body slumped forward onto the typewriter. Detective Singh questioned the people closest to Worthington and found several suspects. Una yung ex-wife ni Maxi Marisa, feuding with him over alimony payments. Si Jillian, yung girlfriend niya, was a beautiful young woman but was seemingly high maintenance and seemed to miss his money more than him. At saka si Gerald na brother ni Max was happy his brother was dead as Max had stolen Marisa away from him. The detective concluded his investigation and quickly made an arrest. Who did he take into custody? Yung judgment na letters. Bumagsak daw siya sa harap ng typewriter niya. Si Bea daw. Bea, judgment ka daw. Ayan. Kabildo pa explain bakit si Roger. Si Roger yung niya, agent niya, yung nakakita ng body. Ayan. Pagkatingin ko kasi sa keyboard ko, parang one line higher. Yeah, tama. Like, siya, yung 4, yung nasa baba niya, R. Diba? Tapos yung 9, ang nasa baba niya, O. Tapos sunod, Roger stabbed me. Ang galing. Okay, next slide. Ayan, discussion proper na, Ali, ikaw na.
So, good evening guys. Ako yung first na mag-discuss at ang topic ko ay vehicle body. Next slide, please. So, vehicle body It is best defined as a container for the passengers and freight. The vehicle body comprises its main load carrying structure above all suspension units. Basically, ang vehicle body ay yung sasakyan ng mga tao or yung mga goods. Tinatawag siya na container kasi parang siyang malaking lalagyan na pwedeng paglagyan ng mga tao and goods nga para mag-move from one place to another or station to station. Then, mechanical equipment and other mounted parts are not considered part of the vehicle body. Since sinasabi nga natin na yung vehicle body ay yung container, yung ibang nakakabit sa kanya sa loob at sa labas ay hindi ko na-consider na vehicle body. Kasi nga vehicle body, yung body itself lang without the mga abubot sa paligid. Next slide po. Vehicle body. It consists of the underframe, end structures, side structures, and roof. Itong mga parts na to yung nagko-contribute sa strength, stiffness, and stability ng mismong vehicle body para mas safe siya mag-travel. Para mag-guarantee niya yung safe ng passengers niya. They form a box which is reinforced so that the load is supported by the entire body shell. Next slide po. Based sa mga nabasa ko na about sa vehicle body, yung mga metal fillings, parang ganon, ina-attach siya sa may underframe base plate. Tapos, sa may underframe naman, yung taas naman niya, nilalagyan siya ng floor mat. Tapos yung sa side naman ng coupler, kung saan nagkakaroon ng tractive force and compressive force, ay nandun siya sa may central part. Ano nga ba ang tractive force at compressive force? Yung tractive force ay yung parang nangyayari kapag nagkikiskisan yung dalawang bagay that is called friction, diba? Tapos yung compressive force naman ay yung kapag yung force, physical force na inward through an object, the word itself compressive. So next page, next slide po. Ito naman yung structure ng underframe. Alam naman natin na isa sa pinaka-importanteng part ng vehicle body ay yung underframe dahil nandun nakakabit yung mga mechanical equipments and devices na need ng train to move. The underframe also has other parts. Yung side beam, which is made of hollow, ay nasa outer part ng vehicle body. So, all in all, ang underframe ay binubuo ng end beam, cross beam, bolster beam, side beam, and center seal. Next slide po. As you can see, ito yung mga existing vehicle bodies ng railway system sa Pilipinas. Next. So, next topic is bogie. Bogies. A bogie is a device that carries the body of a car and runs on rails. The role of the bogie is exactly of a foot. Para siyang paa kasi yung car body pinapatong sa kanya to move on the track. So, binibitbit niya yung vehicle body, binibitbit niya yung weight ng vehicle body to move forward the trail. Samantalang yung suspension yung nag-work na tuhod, tapos yung motor or engine naman yung nag-act na leg muscles. So, para siyang runner talaga. The train bogies accumulate damages such as cracks or faults over time, and these damages can be critical in the event of an accident. Alam naman natin na hindi palaging safe. So, may mga chances talaga na nagkakaroon ng damage yung mga bogies natin in the matter of time. Tapos, nagkakos siya ng accidents and casualties. Next page po. The bogie transmits longitudinal forces of the car body, such as tractive force and braking force. It supports the car body to run steady on the conventional and curved paths while providing passengers a quality ride. Nasabi ko naman na kanina yung meaning ng tractive force, di ba? Yung parang nagkikiskisan and friction. Yung braking force naman ay yung sa may sasakyan, di ba may brake? So parang mapapa-stop or slow down niya yung sasakyan. Yun naman yung isang gamit ng bogie para magkaroon ng slows the car down. Para makapag-provide ng safe ride sa mga passengers and goods. Next slide po. So ito yung function ng bogie. Nasabi naman na kanina yung carries the body of the rail car, yung parang binubuhat niya yung car para mag-move forward. Tapos, helps train to stably or travel along conventional and curved paths. Di ba kanina yung parang sa traction force and braking force niya, doon niya hinihelp. So, para maging smooth yung pag-curve niya kapag pupunta siya sa mga may baliko-liko. Tapos, minimizes irregularity and abrasion of trucks. Parang, parang binabawasan niyo or liniliitan niya yung mga chances ng pagkakasira ng mga railway tracks. Assures excellent comfort on the track when the train runs at high velocities by absorbing vibrations created by irregularities in the tracks and minimizing centrifugal forces. Diba yung centrifugal force ay yung pag nag-iikot siya, gagawa ng circle na force. Cause, ayun, next slide. So, yung may two types ng buggy. Bolster. May two types ang buggy. The bolster and the bolsterless. First type is bolster. Yung bolster buggy is constructed to support car body weight with bolster and transmit the weight from the center pivot to the buggy frame. Makikita natin to mamaya sa picture niya. Pero yung meaning muna. Yung bolsterless naman, the bolsterless buggy is constructed to support the car body weight directly by the buggy frame. Next slide po. Ay, ito pala yung mga parts niya. Yan. Yung isa may bolster, yung isa wala. Yung bolster para siyang pahalang na gano'n, tapos i-coconnect siya sa may car body. Samantalang itong isa, wala siyang bolster na parang division muna. Parang direct to car body muna. Tapos nandyan yung mga parts. Next po. Ayan. 'Di ba kanina yung sa bolster bogie kasi may bolster pa siya, parang pahalang na ganyan. Tapos may before siya pumunta sa may car body. Samantalang yung bolsterless bogie ay wala siyang bolster pero meron siyang traction transfer device. Tapos naka-direct siyang kapit doon sa may car body. The advantage of the bolster type is that it has larger safety margin when passing through a curve. Mas malaki yung safety niya kasi kapag yung bolster pwede siyang makakaliko kasi 'di ba, yung may pahalang parang yung bolster yung work niya ay para mas smooth yung pagliko nung train. Samantalang yung bolsterless ay directly lang siya. So parang mas rigid yung pag-curve niya. Next slide po. Bogie frame. It is a component on which the other parts are mounted to. It primarily consists of the side beams in both sides, the cross beam connecting between the right and left side beams, and the end beams connecting the ends of both side beams. Meron yung mga parts kanina ng bogie, di ba? So, ito yung pinagkakabitan niya. Bogie frame, tapos yung mga axle, mga traction, mga ganon. Doon nila yung mga yon kinakabit nila dito sa bogie frame. Tapos dito rin sa bogie frame na to, kinakabit yung mga parts ng underframe like yung side beams, yung end beams, tsaka yung mga, basta yung nasa underframe parts kanina. Next slide. Ito naman yung mga existing bogies in the Philippines sa may LRT1, LRT2, and MRT3. Yun lang. Thank you.
So, well, let us proceed to the discussion of the coupler and next slide, please. So, what is a coupler? A rolling stock coupler is a device used to keep cars coupled when multiple of them ran as a train set. So, ito yung device used for joining or connecting rail vehicles in a train set. So, siya yung nagko-connect sa mga bagon natin. So, next slide, please. So, dahil ito nga yung device na nagko-connect sa mga rail vehicles natin, the coupling device is required to have adequate strength to keep the cars coupled during running. So, kailangan matibay talaga and may sapat na strength siya para, syempre, hindi siya kumalas to avoid accidents while the train is moving along the way. And it also withstand the shock caused when the cars operates, such as starting and braking. It allow easy uncoupling and coupling operations. So, yung uncoupling and coupling, ito yung pagkabit tsaka pagkalas sa mga coupler natin. And brake to protect the subsequent cars in case of derailment. Next slide. So, where's the coupler attached to the train? So, ito ay nakascrew siya sa coupler base at the car body underframe. So, yung design ng coupler ay standard siya. So, each component of the system is ensured to serve its own function. So, mas flexible and convenient kapag all rolling stocks are coupled together. Kaya, the design of the coupler standard is as important as a railway track. So, next slide, please. So we have four major types of couplers: the common automatic couplers, the tight black type couplers, the tight black type small couplers, and tight black couplers. Next slide, please. First, we have the common automatic coupler. So this type of coupler ay madalas gamitin sa ating mga passenger cars, freight cars, at iba pang mga locomotives. It has a tensile braking load of up to 100 tons. Now, when we say tensile braking load, it measures the maximum stress of an object habang siya ay in-stretch before mag-brake. Next slide, please. Second is the tight lock type couplers. Ito ay madalas gamitin sa mga express sleeping cars tsaka for electric trains. So, walang gap between the couplers na to. So, closely fitted talaga siya and simple at madali rin siyang i-uncouple and couple. So, dahil nga siya ay closely fitted type of coupler, kumbaga hindi siya matagtag. Kaya yung comfortability ng passenger ay high talaga. Kasi hindi mararamdaman yung shock kapag nag-take off at humihinto yung ating mga rolling stock. Kaya rin siya madalas ginagamit sa mga sleeping cars. It has a tensile braking load that is more than 100 tons. Next slide, please. Third, we have the tight lock type small couplers. So, mas maliit in terms of size compared to the tight lock type coupler at madali lang din yung coupling and uncoupling niya. Itong type of coupler na ito ay ginagamit for internal combustion rail cars and it has a braking tensile load that is more than 60 tons. Next slide. Last, we have tight lock couplers. Itong type of coupler na ito ay simple lang ang structure niya. Closely fitted din siya at madali lang din i-uncouple and couple. Ginagamit ito for electric rail cars and it has a tensile braking load of more than 100 tons. Next slide. Let's move on to the rolling stock coupling device major parts. Ito yung, kumbaga yung base ng rolling stock, yung part na hindi nakikita, na nakakonect sa coupler, yun. So, meron tayong 3 parts of coupling device. First, yung coupler nga. Next, we have the buffer section, and third is the body supporting section. Next slide. So, for the coupler, sabi ko kanina, as discussed earlier, its main function is to connect the rolling stock in a train. So, or jaw gear connects the couplings to the railway stock. So kagaya nga ng nabanggit ko kanina, no, ang standard design ng isang coupler is as vital as the railway stock. No? Wait lang, sorry. May nag-welding. So, ayun nga. So, pag, sino ba ako? Okay, kapag, yun nga, yung coupler is as vital as the railway track. No? Kapag yung ating mga railway tracks ay maayos, smooth ang takbo ng ating mga tren. No? Mas convenient para sa mga pasahero. Pero kapag hindi naman maayos yung ating mga railway track, hindi okay yung travel experience ng mga pasahero. At kapag hindi okay yung ating railway track, maaring ma-derail lang and that will only lead to accidents. Ganun din sa coupler, kapag maayos, komportable ang ating mga pasahero. Kapag hindi naman maayos yung pagkakabit o hindi well-maintained yung ating mga coupler, pag kumalas yun, mag-lead lang din sa accident. Kaya kailangan securely lock siya to avoid accidental uncoupling. So, next slide. So, the buffer section. The buffer section absorbs the shock caused by the traveling direction when the cars operate, such as starting and braking, which improves the comfortability of the ride and protects the coupler. So, located siya sa gitna ng coupler at ng body supporting section. Meron siyang rubber buffer na may sufficient buffering performance para i-absorb yung large and small shocks. Para ma-absorb yung shock, yung rubber part ay nagko-compress kapag yung coupler ay napupush or nahihila. Next slide. So last, we have the body supporting section. So this section secures the coupler to the car body and support its entirety. So classified siya into two types, the anchorage and the yoke type. Next slide. For the anchorage, also known as the round head type, so ito ay naka-install sa ilalim ng car body at naka-attach sa coupler. Next slide, please. So, yung yoke type or the fish belly type, ito yung, so yung body supporting section ay nasa ilalim nga siya ng ating rail car at nakakonect siya sa buffer section at yung buffer section naman ay nakakonect sa ating coupler using a pin para kaya niyang mag-respond sa lateral and vertical movement ng coupler. So kapag may twisting movement naman yung rail vehicle, yung body supporting section, nagro-rotate siya. So ang isang advantage ng ating yoke compared sa anchorage type ay nakakabit siya firmly sa car body at mas resistant siya sa longitudinal shocks habang tumatakbo yung tren. So next slide. So draft gear. What is a draft gear? The draft gear's job is to protect the rail car by absorbing the energy associated with pulling, out pushing, starting, stopping, and coupling of rail cars. Ang draft gear ay mahalagang component ng isang rail vehicle, though hindi siya nakikita kasi nasa part to ng body supporting section. Kumbaga nakatago siya. So nasa ilalim siya na nagko-connect ng couplings to the vehicles. So ang draft gear ay composed of metals, rubbers, polymer materials, and elastic cement kasi nga ang function ng equipment na ito is to bear impact force between the rear cars while accelerating and braking. Siya yung nag-absorb ng stresses of couplings. Next slide, please.
Ayan. Ano tayo, icebreaker. Ito, may price na to. Magkano, secret muna. Ayan. Case 1. Mrs. Vitor is found dead at the living room rug. Can you follow the rules and figure out who killed Mrs. Vitor? So, yung clue 1, si Mrs. Vitor's housekeeper found her dead in the morning when she came to work. So, yung yaya daw nakita na siyang patay nung pagkapasok niya. Next na clue, police found a pistol next to the body with blood all over it. So, yun. A pistol barrel na may dugo. Tapos si Mrs. Vitor had a large bruise on her head. Clue 4, the police believe someone was threatening her with a gun but got angry and punch her in the face while holding the gun. Tapos yung clue 5, by the time Mr. Vitor na to yung asawa niya, arrived at the scene of the crime, the body had been removed. Wait lang, Gado. Charot. Sige, anong sagot, Gado? Explain mo. Explain mo. Ayun na.
Mr. Vitor kasi as soon as he arrived, alam niya na agad na na binugbog yung asawa niya.
Ayan. Tama.
Kasi
Kasi
pero
ayan,
kadarating lang niya.
Kasi nung umaga daw, tinanggal na yung body. Tapos, nakita lang naman ni Mr. Vitor yung pistol na may dugo. Pero sinabi niya na, who beat my wife to death? Ganon. Galing mo naman. Galing ni Ed Calwag.
Ang
Okay. Next slide. Ayan.
Start na tayo.
Sinong next?
Paulina pa rin.
Right. akan din yung interior. Yun. Let's proceed to the interior parts of the rolling stock. Next slide. So, isa sa main interior parts ng isang electric rail cars ay ang stanchion. Ito yung vertical pole na naka-anchored between the floors and the ceiling. Tapos, may mga hand straps din na mga nakasabit. So, hindi naman lahat ng passenger nakakaupo. Minsan talaga or madalas. Nakatuyo yung mga passenger kasi limited lang naman yung capacity ng ating mga upuan. Kaya dyan tayo humahawak. At pati na rin sa hand straps for our safety. Minsan nga hindi pa tayo mahawak dyan. Kasi for the balance ng mga person. Pero, humawak tayo dyan as much as possible para sa atin. Next slide, please. The driver's cab. Siyempre, nandito yung driver, tapos sila yung nagko-control ng movement at speed ng ating mga train. Next slide. Passenger's door switch. No? Ito yung request button na pwedeng gamitin ng mga passengers to open their train door. Next slide. So, emergency switch box, ginagamit ito syempre kapag may mga emergency like fire outbreak or kaya may mga nag-aaway inside the train na natitreten na yung buhay ng pasahero or kapag naman may naitip na kamay ng pasahero dun sa train door. So, may mga buzzers yan at manually operated opening lever. Kadalasan makikita natin ito sa tabi or sa taas ng train door. So, at yung mga interior parts natin, kasama yung mga signages, yung mga monitor, tsaka yung lighting, ayun yun. So, importante yung ating mga interior parts, kaya need ng maintenance to ensure safe and reliable train operations. Next slide.
So, yan. Move on na tayo sa exterior part ng rolling stocks. So, car body shell or yung car body frame. Ito yung discuss kanina ni Ali. So, sabihin ko na lang sa inyo, tandaan niyo na yung train design, kailangan naka-incorporate siya sa design features which guarantee high level of safety para sa passengers, pati na din dun sa crew. So, here, exterior parts ng mismong rolling stocks. So, makikita natin sa picture kung saan nakalocate yung bawat parts. Andyan yung window, HVAC, roof, pantograph, driver cob, gangway, bogie, door, battery box, brake control unit, auxiliary inverter, condenser, compressor, wheel, and coupler. So, simulan natin sa windows. Yung all side of windows except windows in the door shall be single glazed with top and tempered glass that up to the standards ng railway industry natin ngayon. Then yung windows din, suitable siya dun sa mounted ng frame ng car. Sa aso. Yung yung mga color, pati yung degree ng tinting niya, pati yun nire-review ng engineers para maging maayos yung pagpasok din ng mga natural sunlight ng passengers sa loob ng mga bagon. So, next yung cab windshield. Yung cab windshield, ito yung kung kanina yung diniscuss ni Paulina, yung nasa loob ng driver's cab. Ito naman yung nasa labas ng driver's cab, yung cab windshield. Yung cab windshield shall be bonded directly to the car body window frame. The design shall ensure that the event of breakage, sufficient visibility is maintained to operate the train safety. So, bawat windshield din, kailangan meron siya nung mga windshield wipers, yung mga washers, na nakakontrol ng driver sa loob. So next, yung light. Exterior lights, madi-discuss din to ulit mamaya. The headlight is so people can see the train before it gets too close. Kailangan din ito na may mga marker lights which umiilaw siya habang umaandar yung mismong tren. Pero hindi naman to masyadong nakikita lalo na sa mga very visible siya lalo na pag daylight. So yung doors, the door shall be manufactured from the same material used in the construction of the vehicle body. Madi-discuss ko pa rin ito mamaya. Pero yan nga, yung each door lip shall be equipped with a full-length male or female rubber nosing. Para yun sa kunwari, may ipit sa pinto, ganyan, habang sumasara. Para rin din siya sa makapag-withstand nga ng weather, tight seal, ganun. Sorry. Next, gangway. The gangway connection is articulated. Of the articulated high-speed vehicles is a double wrinkled rubber component to seal the air of the corridor under the range of angular deviations between the carriage and end parts. So, ito yung di ba, kung may nagko-connect sa ilalim ng coupler, ito rin yung nagko-connect dun sa mga mismo mga bagon for the safety ng mga pasahero. Kung saan pwede silang maglakad-lakad sa loob ng tren nang hindi nila kailangan isipin na mahuhulog sila sa loob. Katulad, di ba, kung makikita natin yung sa mga old movies, yung end niya palagi, laging bukas. Parang buhis buhay para lang makatawid ka papunta dun sa kabilang bagon. Next, bogie. Diniscuss ulit pa ni Ali kanina. Each bogie is a four-wheeled or six-wheeled truck that provides support the vehicle body, which is used to provide traction and braking. So, a standard railway vehicle is provided with two general bogies, generally located near the vehicle's end. The bogies support the mass of the vehicle. Yeah. So, nag-cover din siya as degree of cushion against nga sa shock na transmitted from the truck during yung pag-andar niya. Next, butterbox. So, katulad sa mga kotse, siyempre, kailangan din natin ng butterbox ng mga locomotives. Locomotives needs a battery to start the engine as well as to provide electrical power for light controls and when the engine is off and the power is not being generated by the alternator. So these diesel trains use heavy-duty industrial batteries both for starting and for operating a range of equipment on board. So next, yung BCU or battery control unit. The function of brake control unit is to coordinate, to calculate braking force corresponding to the deceleration requested by the driver and to distribute the braking force between the different braking system and between the individual units. So, pasok din dito yun sa mga emergency brakes. Sa modern locomotives employ yung mga two brake system units. The system which controls the brake pipe is called automatic brake and provides service and emergency braking control sa buong train. Next, wheel. So, a train wheel is a type of wheel that is specially designed to run on a metallic railway tracks. So, tinatawag din siyang rail wheel or wheel set. It's either cast or forged and it's treated with heat to acquire the specific desired toughness. So, ito nga yung nakakonect. Nakakonect din siya sa bogie. So, next, HVAC. Madi-discuss ulit mamaya pa dito. HVAC stands for heating, ventilation, air conditioning, and are all used to control the temperature of passenger train. So next, compressor. On locomotives and light rail, air compressor is relied upon the movement to each destination due to mechanism of pantographs, which depend on compressed air for power. Pantographs are needed to draw currents from overhead catenary wires along the railway tracks. So, ito na yung pantograph na sinasabi na nakakatulong sa compressor. So, pantograph is an apparatus which mounted on a roof of electric train to collect power through which overhead tension wire. It lifts or down bases of the wire tension. So, Ito, ang isa pang tawag dito is yung current collector. Ang madalas kina-collect niya is yung mga AC or yung alternator current. Typically a single wire used with the return current running through the tracks. Ito, madalas natin siyang makikita sa mga LRT, mga trains ng LRT, LRT2, ganyan. For, lang siya, electric locomotive. So, next, coupler. So, makikita niyo sa picture is yung saan nakalagay yung coupler. Diniscuss na din to kanina. A coupler or coupling is a device for joining real vehicles in a train. There are two different kinds of coupler in the units. Automatic coupler on both units and sa driver cab, yung sa unahan, which permit coupling with another unit, and semi-permanent couplers which permit a permanent connection between a cars forming a unit. So yung sa semi-automatic couplers, ang nakadugtong doon is yung mga cabins kung saan mismo nasasakay yung mga pasahero. Tapos yung sa harap, parang kinakonnect sa mga ng train. Kung kunwari kung biglang nagkasira siya, hindi na siya umandar, pwede siyang hilahin ng isa pang train. So yun, yung three general types of coupler used sa railways worldwide is yung manual couplers, semi-automatic couplers, and yung automatic couplers. So next yung auxiliary converters. Auxiliary converters provide cooling of a main drive traction motor diesel engine, charging the vehicle batteries, feeding off-control circuits entire locomotive. Yun lang. Next.
Hello. Ayun, ako naman sa lighting. Next. Next po. Hello. Dinig ba ako? Ayun. Okay. Ayun. Lighting or ilaw, ayun, aims to satisfy reliability, satisfy passenger comfort, and security needs to contribute to passenger safety. In other words, kailangan ng ilaw kasi para makita yung passenger, pati yung kailangan ng ilaw sa rolling stock as a whole. Yun. Ayun. So, yun. Yung pag may makita kayong terms dito sa slide ko, ayun. Pag sinabing car, ayun, single vehicle, coach, or trailer. Pag sinabing illuminance, yan, ratio ng luminous flux. Tapos yung MCB stands for miniature circuit breaker. And yung LX or lux unit of illuminance. Ayun. Next. Ayun. So, sa lighting, rolling stock natin, meron ng interior, exterior, tsaka emergency lighting. Yan. Thanks. Ayun, interior lighting naman natin ay next. Go. Hello? Kunyari. Ayun. Okay. Ayun. Sa interior, yung description sa interior lighting, yung lighting is designed para magkaroon ng yung ilaw sa loob ng tren, like for the passengers, especially para makakita ang mga passengers sa loob ng ating rolling stock. Din yun, yung dapat yung interior lighting kailangan maintain yung illumination. Ibig sabihin sa buong biyahe, like consistent at constant yung ilaw sa sa loob ng tren. Next. Ayun, sa interior lighting, yun. Yung illuminance, uniformity, and light quality, kailangan comply siya doon sa EN 13272. Basta yun, yung sa EN 13272, yun. Yung kailangan ang description is high speed and conventional train na makaklas yung ilaw doon. Go, next. Andun yun. Ayun, yung minimum value of average luminance levels doon sa EN 13272 ay dapat, yung seating areas where no additional reading lights are provided shall have an average luminance greater than or equal na 300 lux. Then, vehicle access steps for exit and entrance doorway shall have an average illuminance greater than or equal to 150 lux. Ayun. So, kailangan yung ilaw sa loob ay greater than or equal to 300 lux. Tapos yung sa doors ng exit and entrance ay kailangan greater than or equal ng 150 lux. Yan. Next. Then, exterior lighting. Sa exterior lighting naman, ito yung medyo madami. Ito yung sa guards blue light, coupler lights, headlights, train marker lights, and visibility lights. Go, next. Yan, sa guard blue light, kailangan, nakalagay yung guard blue light sa above the side or crew cab doors on both sides ng guard cab. Okay, kailangan on siya kapag andun yung guard sa loob ng cab. And unauthorized access to the cab shall cause the guard's blue light to flash. And kailangan mag-provide ng 40 lux measured 1 meter from the light source. Ayun, next. Yan, coupler lights naman, ayun, kailangan may ilaw doon sa coupler lights. Lighting shall be provided to the area around couplers that may be separated during service operation. Coupler lights should have minimum illumination of 20 lux on top of the sides of the coupler's head and at any point, coupler manual release point. Ayan, so kailangan sa couplers natin, yan lang din yung maintained illuminance sa coupler which is 20 lux. So, okay. Yun, para makita yung separation ng kada cab sa rolling stock natin. Yung next. Ayun, sa headlights naman yun. Each terminal multiple unit car shall be fitted with white headlights fitted at any leading point seated. Headlight arrangement shall produce a peak intensity of at least 200,000 candela. The peak intensity requirement shall also be met if devices to protect or diffuse the headlights are fitted while in service, and center line of each headlamp beam should be aimed at the point center track level at least 240 meters ahead and in front of that headlight. Ayan. Next. Ayan. Yung headlight nga, ayun, kailangan is 2.3 meters above sa rail and kailangan pwede siyang i-dim or pwede siyang ipataasin yung parang flashlight. Then the headlight low beam shall produce a peak intensity of no greater than 80,000 candela. Next. And then sa marker or tail lights, each terminal, multiple car unit shall be fitted with marker or tail lights. Fitted. Yung tail lights, yun yung sa likuran na. Pag yung sa header, syempre yun yung sa harapan ng multiple unit car. Then go. Sa red marker lights fitted at any trailing end, white marker lights fitted at any leading end, and red marker lights and white marker lights fitted as high and wide as practical at both sides each end. Then each marker light shall have a luminous intensity of at least 75 candela. Next. Then visibility lights, ayun. Ito naman sa visibility lights is kailangan these lights shall be combined driving or fog lights shall be positioned such that the beam end of light is at an angle of 7.5 degrees from a crossing at the vehicle center line. 2 white visibility lights fitted at any leading end, and each visibility light shall produce as a peak intensity of at least 20,000 candela. Ayun, next. Then, visibility light shall be at least 600 millimeters above top of the rail. Papakita ako sa next slide. Visibility light should be no more than 1,200 millimeters on top of the rail. Visibility lights shall be laddered separately at least 900 millimeters if they are mounted at least 1,500 millimeters below the headlights. Then visibility lights shall be laterally separated by at least 2,500 millimeters and mounted less than 2,500 millimeters below the headlight. So, bali, ito lang yung measurements na kailangan eksakto siyang height or distance between each other sa kada visibility lights ng natin, rolling stock. Next. Then, ayan. Visibility lights shall alternately flash on and off when the horn is sounded on the train that changes direction. The rate of alternate flashing shall be at least 40 flashes per minute and shall be at least most 180 flashes per minute. And flashing shall continue for a period at least 15 seconds. Ayun. Next. Yan. Kita nyo sa figure 1. So like, yung visibility lights nga, kailangan aim sa point at least 25 meters sa front ng rolling stock natin para makita yung daan ng rolling stock natin. Ayan. 25 meters in front ng terminal end. Next. And ito naman yun. Yung visibility lights nga, ayan, as you can see, 7.5 to 15 degrees yung max ng longitudinal center line ng vehicle. Kailangan nakaturo siya pababa. Siya. Ito yung top view ng rolling stock, tapos naka-aim dun sa vehicle. And next. Then emergency lighting, last na to. Next. Ayan, yung emergency lighting naman, ito yung, magbubukas siya kapag, syempre, nagkaroon ng emergency. Ayan, kailangan makapag-provide ng light yung rolling stock natin kapag, para makamove yung mga nasa loob ng rolling stock natin kapag nagkaroon nga ng obstacle or obstruction. Ganun. Then, kailangan, allowed yung continued occupation ng passenger and crew areas na safe from the vehicle, including the exit route. So, yun, magbubukas lang talaga siya kapag yun nga, may emergency nga. Then, emergency lighting specification should not consider Kinkomatsu's test of reduced visibility due to airborne particles such as dust and smoke that could occur in emergency situation. Like, kunwari, nasusunog yung rolling stock natin. Kailangan, kahit may makapal na yung smoke, kailangan nakita pa din ng passenger na posibleng nasa loob ng tren yung daan. Yeah, next. Ayun, the minimum value of average illuminance of the emergency lighting in the passenger shall not be less than 75 lux. Then each doorway as an emergency exit should have emergency light. Then emergency doorway light shall operate automatically on opening of each locker emergency access door. Yeah. And then emergency lighting shall operate automatically in event of failure of the power supply. So yun, kailangan pag nakat yung power supply sa rolling stock natin, automatic siyang magbubukas. And tuloy-tuloy siya, continued operation, kailangan tuloy-tuloy siyang mag-ilaw hanggat hindi pa nagbabalik yung power. And yung time to plan, execute orderly and safety evacuation of the disabled train, kailangan bukas din siya. And yun, kailangan sa labas din, magkaroon din siya ng train visibility through the mirrors. Yeah, next. And
We're back. Ali Pabasa.
Case 2. Benjamin Ammon is a businessman in New York City who is found dead in his office. The gun that killed him clutched in his hand. It looks like suicide, but there's reason to believe that it's murder. Can you follow the clues and figure out how Benjamin died? Clue number 1. Mr. Ammon was actually on the phone with his lawyer at the time he was killed. The lawyer reports hearing Mr. Ammon said to someone in the room, "Wait, stop, don't shoot." And then the sound of the gunshot. Clue number 2. The only fingerprints on the gun were those of Mr. Ammon's. Clue number 3. When the lawyer figured out what was going on, he called Mr. Ammon's assistant. However, it took him a minute to look up the phone number as he only had Mr. Ammon's office line on speed dial. Clue number 4. The assistant ran into the room out found Mr. Ammon dead with the gun in his hand and immediately took the phone up off the table and called the police.
May price din to. Kala ko si Mr. Viator ulit. Iba pala yun. Ang dalawa lang naman yung pagpipilian. Ayun, aso. Go. May ano yan. Time limit. Ayan talaga ng aso namin. Tapos magsasagot ng ano, sa assistant. Tapos i-explain nyo kung bakit. Kung sagot na kayo, ang laki na ng ano ni Gado. Laki na ng cashback. Dalawa lang kasi pagpipilian yan, yung assistant or yung lawyer. Sige, clear. Bakit yung assistant? Gado, bakit din yung lawyer? Na? Si Dayan daw sasagot. Asa ka na, Dayan? Ay, sabi ni Claire, nag-run yung assistant, di walang kumatok para pumasok.
Lawyer yan, lawyer.
Sige, bakit yung lawyer? Magkasabwat yung lawyer at assistant. Hindi.
Feeling ko yung lawyer kasi walang kausap si Mr. Aman nung binaril siya. Kasi yung phone nasa table pa din, hindi niya hawak-hawak habang nakaupo. So, dapat malalaglag yun eh. Pag binaril ka, may kausap ka sa phone, malalaglag. Hindi sa table mo pupulo. Hindi mo naman siya may babalik sa table eh. Siguro. Hindi ko sure.
Sila pa. Go na, Dayan. Dinampot ng assistant yung, ayan. So, sino yung killer? Sino yung killer, Dayan? Ayan, tama na si Dayan. Kasi, tag dito, sabi sa clue 4 na nung ano, ay, sorry, T. Sinabi na sa clue 4 na ano, dinampot sa table of, took the phone up of the table. Eh, kung binaril siya, dapat wala nasa table yung ano. Tsaka narinig, merong ano eh, sabi na kausap niya yung lawyer habang ano, binaril siya. Ayun. Next slide na. Mamaya may case trip pa. Galing mo naman, Dayan.
So, doors and its control. So, sabi ko nga kanina, part siya ng 60 parts ng isang rolling stock. So, pasok tayo sa passenger entrance system. Yung external double lip sliding door. So, from its name, nag-slide nga siya. External double lip sliding door. The door mounted on the outside of the car, body sliding rails. So, makikita natin dyan sa picture. Ito. Ito yung mismong rail na kinakabitan ng doors na makikita talaga siya mula sa labas ng mga trains. It's electrically activated and provides environmental seal against elements. Katulad ng sinabi ko kanina. So, yun. Tandaan natin, yung doors are activated electrically from the driver's console or yung from the local wall-mounted push button. Enabled lang siya once the train stop. Yun yung mga sinabi kanina ni Paulino na pindutan sa loob ng tren. Tawag din doon is bypass. So, yan. So, ang functionality niya, halos parehas lang ang functionality lahat ng pinto actually. Adjustable opening and closing times, adjustable obstacle detection sensitivity, multiple obstacle detection redundancy, local fault code display, modular interchangeable door drives, system application suitable for tram, light rail, monorail, and light metro cars. So next, yung isa pang klase ng pinto is yung plug doors. So the door lip sliders on expandable curve rails, allowing the lips to be flush fitted by the car body with the car body in closed position and energize over central lock, securely keep the door in place during service operation. It is electrically activated and prevents environmental seal against elements. So, katulad din sa kanina, para sunod sila. So, dito, adjustable, katulad nga sinabi ko, pero kailangan kasi talaga sila ng functionally or yung mismong controls nila. So, adjustable opening and closing time, adjustable obstacle detection sensitivity, multiple obstacle detection redundancy, local fault code display, modular, interchangeable door drive, system application. So, ang pinagkaiba nila dito, yung ito, suitable for rolling stock vehicle, operational speed niya is higher than 80 kph pace or couch. So, ito, isa driver cabs door naman or yung salon end doors. Ito yung mga pintong as in, sa end-to-end lang siya makikita. Kung makikita natin sa mga driver cabs, di ba? Sa unahan ng mga tren, isang pinto lang ngayon nandun sa driver. So, yung mga, nakakita na kayo nun. Yung sa mga pinto sa mga tren sa PNR, ganito din yung mga isahan lang sa harap. So, rubber cabs door are developed as standalone products or in conjunction with core body manufacturer. So that is integrated into the vehicle profile. It can be manufactured in a various shape and profiles and over either swing or yung sliding configuration. So yan, itutukoy din yung dito yung normal na pagbukas natin ng pinto na as in nag-flip siya. So yung sliding, yung katulad nga sa mga plug doors saka yung sa mga external sliding doors. So, platform screen gates. Nabanggit na to sa ating prop. Hindi ko matandaan kung sino. So, nabanggit na to. Ito yung mga pinto sa mismong station para makasakay ka sa mga train. Yung nakaharap. So, yung platform screen gate, PSG, are most cost-effective solution to improve passenger safety in station with similar functionality of platform screen doors. Same lang halos talaga sila. Yung height lang pinag-aiba niyan. PSG control can be integrated with the train signaling system or locally controlled depending on the application. So yung functionality niya, adjustable opening and closing times, adjustable obstacle detection sensitivity, multiple obstacle detection redundancy, local fault coding display, modular interchangeable drives, scalable safety doors. So yung nakikita niyo dito sa GIF, Ano yun, nakikita niyo yung yellow? Yung yellow na yan, ano siya, parang siya yung kumo-connect din sa mismong train. Ano siya, parang gap. May gap talaga siya. Parang mas maganda din 'to ta's favorable siya para sa mga kunwari, since may mga PWD, yung mga may gumagamit ng wheelchairs or yung may disabled persons, para mas madali ta's mas safe din makatawid yung mga passengers. So, eto yung mga door-related controls. Actually, yung mga doors-related controls na 'to is more on for safety purposes. So, obstacle detection system. Doors with obstacle detection system, ODS, are to be able to detect presence of an object stuck in the door and automatically reopen when obstruction is detected. So, mga sensitivity ODS, depende siya sa nakadepend siya sa mga designs. Some rolling stock is able to detect yung sa mga smaller obstacles, mga 5 millimeters wide, ganun. Most rolling stock, lalo sa Australia, complies with yung minimum requirement ng EN 14752 na 30 millimeters wide. So, yung benefits niya, automatic detection ng mga objects caught in the doors. So, obstacle removal system naman is obstacle removal system designed to allow trapped objects to be drawn with a minimum force. So, ito, halos kapareho lang siya nung sa una yung sa ODS. Sunod. So, yung pinaka-benefits niya nga is yung obstacle detection system has limitation and may not be reliable to detect smaller objects. Obstacle removal system enabling removal of a caught object or an additional control. Ano siya, complement siya sa sa obstacle detection system. If yung obstacle detection system is unable to detect yung mga uncaught object, obstacle removal naman yung allowed the trap objects to be foolproof. Yung parang 'pag hindi nagawa yung ODS, siya na yung bahala. Yun lang. Thank you. Next.
Ayan, ako na. Air conditioning and ventilation system. Next slide. Sigalis ka na hash. In-announce. Okay na. May screenshot na. Ayan. So, ano ba ang HVAC? Yung HVAC stands for Heating, Ventilation, and Air Conditioning System. Bale, ginagamit siya to maintain the desired condition of air to provide human comfort. Tapos, sa Philippines, ang desired na temperature ay 23 pala yan. 23 to 26 degrees Celsius. At saka yung relative humidity ay 40 to 60% sa loob ng isang space. So, kinukul niya lang or heats the air automatically to maintain the target temperature. Next slide. So, ayan. Move on na tayo sa parts ng HVAC system. Sobrang dami niyang parts kaya yung inilagay ko na lang dyan yung mga relevant para sa ventilation tsaka sa air conditioning mismo. Next slide. So, yung HVAC unit natin, meron siyang 3 main sections. Yung supply fan compartment, mixed air compartment, tsaka condenser compartment. Next slide. Iyon ang aso namin. Yan. So, yung una yung supply fan compartment. Next slide pala. Ayan, syempre, wait lang. Lilipat na ako ng pwesto. Kasi napatigil ang aso. Ayan. Dilig pa rin ata. So, yung supply fan, yung ano, kumukuha ng air from the mixed air compartment. At kung nakita nyo sa baba, yung mixed air, ay yung air sa loob ng mixed air compartment, kinukuha siya nung ano, nung supply fans papunta dun sa ano, sa supply air duct. Tapos, yun nakalagay din sa baba na kapag may ano, three-phase power failure, yung emergency inverter tsaka transformer ay magana. Ay, gagana para sa supply fan. Next slide. Ayan, next naman yung ano, mixed air compartment. Wait lang. Okay, sa mixed air compartment naman, dito na nagmi-meet yung ano, yung fresh air tsaka return air. Yung fresh air galing siya dun sa mismong ano, atmosphere sa labas ng tren. Tapos yung return air naman ay yung galing sa loob ng coaches. Next slide. Ayan. Una ay yung fresh air dampers. Motor-operated controls flow of ambient fresh air into the mixed chamber. So ano lang siya? Opening lang siya na nagdadala ng fresh air sa mixed air compartment. Next slide. Ayan. Meron siyang tatlong modes. Yung normal mode, yung kapag ano lang, normal function na ano lang siya, parang nag-open siya depende sa passenger load. Tapos, yung closed mode naman ay yung ano, kapag may mga fire or yan, may smoke, para hindi makapasok sa loob ng ano, coaches. Tapos yung next ay yung fully open mode. Yan kapag ano, maximum na fresh air ang kailangan sa loob ng passenger area. Next slide. Ayan. Yung next ay yung ano, fresh air filters. Yun lang, panglinis lang siya ng mga ano, air bago siya mag-mix dun sa ano, yung fresh air kasi fresh air filters yan. Nililinis niya yung fresh air bago siya mag-mix sa return air. Next slide. Ayan. Next ay yung return air filters. Dito, nire-remove niya yung dust particles sa mix ng return air tsaka fresh air yon. Parang ano na siya, yung mix air na mismo, yung finifilter niya, bago siya dumaan dun sa evaporator coil. Next slide. Next ay yung evaporator or cooling coil. So pagdaan ng air dito, ang lalamig, ano siya, ginagawa niyang cool yung ano, and dehumidified yung air bago siya lumabas sa supply air opening. Next slide. Ayan, dyan sa picture, summarize natin yung mga nangyari. Si fresh air na galing sa labas ng tren, tsaka si return air na galing sa passenger coach, ay magbi-meet sila dun sa ano, sa loob ng mixed air compartment. Tapos, dadaan siya sa may cooling coil. Wala tayong heater bank kasi hindi naman kailangan sa Pilipinas. Yun. Ayun. Dadaan siya sa cooling coil. Tapos, magiging low temperature yung hangin kapag naka-cool mode. Tapos, dadalhin siya ng supply fan papunta dun sa supply air opening. Tapos, dun na sa supply air duct. Yung supply air duct, yun yung mismo parang vent sa taas ng ng tren. Ayan. Next slide. Next ay yung refrigerant sight glasses. Yung refrigerant sight glasses, ginagamit lang siya para inspect yung flow ng refrigerant. Ayan. Next slide. Ayan. Next na ay yung condenser compartment. Next slide. So, yung sa condenser fans naman, kumukuha siya ng air galing sa taas or size ng HVAC enclosure. Bale siya ang kumukuha ng heat sa loob ng condenser coil. Tapos, nilalabas niya yun sa atmosphere gamit yung fan wheels. So, parang siyang cooling system ng ano. Next slide. Ayan. So, meron din tayong refrigerant compressor. Siya yung nagpa-pump ng refrigerant into the system. So, ang refrigerant natin ay high temperature and high pressure. So, siya yung nagsusupply ng heat from cooling coil papunta sa condenser coil. Tapos, meron din tayong condenser coil. Dito, ginagawa niya yung high temperature, high pressure gas ng refrigerant into liquid. Next slide. Ayan, meron din tayong low and high pressure switch. Parang ano lang siya, safety. Parang sinashutdown niya yung system kapag wala sa need or yung reference pressure yung yung system. Next. Yan. Filter dryer, nililinis niya lang yung refrigerant. Tapos yung thermal expansion valve, yung flow ng kinokontrol niya yung flow ng refrigerant ito cooling coil or evaporator. Next slide. And din na tayo sa mga external parts. So, yung supply air opening, ito yung katabi ng supply air fans. Bale, dyan lumalabas yung mixed air na pupunta sa supply air duct. Next slide. Tapos, yung supply air duct, ayan, yung parang vent, dyan din i-discharge yung air. Tapos, dito din siya nagta-travel papunta sa mga air diffusers. Parang sakop niya yung yung coach, buong coach, ganun. Next slide. So, ayan, yung air diffuser, siya naman yung nagdi-distribute ng air papunta sa passenger cab. So, ayun nga, parang sa din sa Pilipinas din, parang 2 rows of air diffuser din yung nakita natin. Next slide. Next ay yung return air grills or opening. Return air grills or return air opening. Diyan lang pumapasok yung return air papunta sa mixed air compartment. Next slide. Next ay yung ventilation system. Next slide. May video dito, pero i-explain ko din yan.
We will now take a look at the flow of air in vent or ventilation mode during operation of the air conditioner. In ventilation mode, the cooling and the heater circuits are switched off. The return air enters through the return air grill located in the ceiling of the passenger saloon. The return air damper wings are in open position so that the air can enter freely into the return air opening of the air conditioner. The fresh ambient air is drawn through the fresh air dampers located on both sides of the HVAC unit. The fresh air quantity varies with the passenger load. The HVAC controller receives a passenger load signal via the TCMS and operates the fresh air dampers accordingly. The fresh and the return air flows meet in the mixed air compartment. The supply fan draws the mixed air through the mixed air filters, cooling coil and the heater bank. Remember, neither the cooling coil nor the heaters are energized in the ventilation mode and will not affect the temperature of the air. This mix of the fresh and return air is discharged from the supply air opening into the supply air duct installed above the ceiling of the passenger saloon. The mixed air enters the saloon through the diffusers located on the ceiling. The duct arrangement ensures that each air conditioner serves the full length of the saloon. In this way, the conditioned and the fresh air is supplied to all the passengers even if one of the two HVAC units is out of order. This mixed air is also discharged into the driver's cabin through the cab booster fan. Additionally, the cool air is also discharged into the duct going into the driver's console and the CLEC cabinet. The mixed air is also supplied in the saloon cabinet SEC2L in DT car and both SEC2L and SEC2R in M car.
Next slide.
Ayun.
Ayan. So i-summarize lang natin. Since ventilation lang siya, bale naka-off yung cooling coil natin. Bale si return air from passenger cab ay pumapasok siya dun sa return air grill, tapos si fresh air naman from atmosphere pumapasok din siya sa mixed compartment gamit yung fresh air dampers. Ayun. Tapos dun sila sa mixed air compartment naghahalo-halo. Tapos galing sa mixed chamber, nilalabas siya ng supply fan papunta sa supply air opening. Tapos dadaan siya sa cooling coil pero naka-off nga yun tuwing ventilation mode. So ayun, from supply air opening, madi-discharge siya sa supply air duct. Tapos doon na magta-travel si mixed air throughout sa passenger cab. So gamit yung air diffusers, makakapasok yung mixed air sa passenger cab. Mas yung supply air duct arrangement ay naka-design para ma-serve yung full length ng cab para in case na kapag hindi gumana yung isang HVAC unit ay masusupplyan niya pa rin yung buong cab. Next slide. Next naman ay yung cool mode. Cooling. Next video ulit.
The pre-cooling mode is used to bring down the saloon temperature in a minimum time when the train set is made ready for service during the hot summer season. The fresh air dampers are closed in pre-cool mode. The SID 3500 saloon air conditioner has two independent refrigeration circuits. Each circuit comprises of a scroll compressor, a condenser coil, condenser fans, a thermal expansion valve, a cooling coil or an evaporator. Each circuit is equipped with low and high pressure switches, refrigerant side glasses, and a filter dryer. We will now use the schematic to show the functioning of the air conditioner in cool modes. When the air conditioner is operating in Cool 1 mode, only one of the two refrigeration systems is energized. This can either be the LHS circuit or the left-hand side circuit, or the RHS circuit, that is the right-hand side circuit. In Cool 1 mode, one of the two compressors is energized. It discharges hot refrigerant gas into the condenser coil. Only one of the two condenser fans is switched on when the cooling load is low. Both fans are switched on when the refrigerant discharge pressure in circuit 1 and or circuit 2 exceeds 20 bar. The condenser coil is cooled with the help of two condenser fans. The condenser fans are always switched on whenever the air conditioner operates in either Cool 1 or Cool 2 mode. This high pressure, high temperature liquid refrigerant leaves the condenser coils and passes through the expansion valve. In the expansion valve, the high temperature, high pressure liquid refrigerant coming from the condenser coils will expand. Thus, the temperature falls. This high pressure, high temperature liquid refrigerant will expand into low pressure, low temperature liquid refrigerant. Thus, here we get a mixture of very cold, low temperature liquid and vapor refrigerant coming out of the expansion valve. This mix of cold, liquid and vapor refrigerant goes into the evaporator or the cooling coil. The evaporation of the refrigerant in the cooling coil causes the mixed air to cool down before it is discharged into the supply air duct. The cooled air is finally discharged into the supply air duct running above the ceiling of the passenger saloon. When the air conditioner operates in cool-to mode, both the refrigeration circuits are energized together to provide maximum cooling power to the passengers. In cool-to mode, both the compressors are energized at the same time. Since there are 2 air conditioners and 4 cooling circuits per car, approximately 75% of the maximum cooling power remains available, even if one circuit is completely disabled.
Next slide. Para naman sa cooling system, meron siyang cool 1 tsaka cool 2 mode. Sa cool 1 mode, isang refrigeration system lang yung open. Pero sa cool 2, dalawa sila naka-open. Both din ng condenser fans ay naka-open kahit cool 1 or cool 2 mode. Yung unang mangyari, si refrigerant compressor ay nagdi-discharge siya ng refrigerant gas papunta sa condenser oil. Then sa condenser oil, gagawin niya yung high temperature and high pressure refrigerant gas into high temperature and high pressure na liquid. Next niyang dadaanan ay yung expansion valves. Dito, yung nangyayari, yung high temperature and high pressure na liquid ay mag-expand. Kaya magdodrop yung temperature niya. Bale sa yung high temperature, high pressure liquid ay magiging low temperature, low pressure liquid refrigerant. Or pwede rin siyang tawagin na low temperature liquid and vapor refrigerant. Tapos lalabas na siya sa expansion valve. Yung cold liquid at saka vapor refrigerant ay pupunta naman sa cooling coil and magkakos siya ng evaporation. So kapag dadaan na yung mixed air sa cooling coil, malamig na hangin na siya, like kunya yung mixed air, 'di ba? Hinihigop siya ng supply fan. Yun. Bali, dadaan siya sa cooling coil. Tapos yun, malamig na hangin na yung lalabas. Ayun. Tapos si cool air, na siya, discharge na siya sa passenger cab, gaya nung sa ventilation system. Like, dadaan sa supply air opening, then supply air duct, at saka air diffusers. Ayan. Baba mo pa. Yaw. Pakibaba na. Baba mo pa. Ayan. Yung na, next mo na. In-explain ko na. Ayan. Last na, icebreaker na. Madali lang to. Ayan. Case 3. Last night, a man killed a woman he had never seen before. So, the police could find no absolute connection between the two of them. Can you follow the clues and figure out why he did it? So, yung clue 1, the man and woman had never seen each other before. Yung clue 2, the man was not a professional killer and he did not receive any money for the killing. Clue 3, the police found out that the man had argued with his wife and threatened to kill her many times. Clue 4, after his arrest, the man's wife was killed by poison in a restaurant. Clue 5, the restaurant where the man's wife was poisoned was a favorite of his. He would often drink there. Clue 6, the woman he killed was very wealthy and left only with one heir, a distant cousin. Clue 7, that cousin worked as a bartender. Oh. Go, go, go. Nagkamali ng lagay ng poison your bartender. Konti pa. More. Nasa loob ng yellow yung poison. No. Tama na yung kay Don, pero need pa. Konti. Ay, more. Nagkamali ng served. Hindi. Ito, kasi ang dalawa yung nangyari, di ba? Yung wife nung man namatay. At saka yung woman na hindi kilala ng man, yon namatay. Bakit? Ayun nga, kasi given na na namatay yung wife by poison, di ba? Yun papatayin dapat ng lalaki yung napatay yung asawa niya. Hindi. Magkasabwat yung man at bartender. Yes, malapit ka na, Mops. Kasi tagapagmana, pinatay ng cousin yung asawa. Si Mops, konti pa. Kasi tagapagmana yung bartender ng woman. Affair? Tapos skandalosa ka dayan. Malapit ka na, Mops. Pero kasi may isa pa, di ba? May isa pang namatay. Yung bartender, di ba, cousin? Oo, cousin siya nung woman. Nagpalitan sila ng papatayin. Go, Mops. Bakit? Bakit, Mops? Ayun na, sabi ni Mops. Ay, wait lang. Ano ba yung unang sabi ni Mops? Wala. Magkasabwat daw yung man tsaka bartender. Kasi tagapagmana yung bartender ng woman. Kaya nagpalitan daw sila ng papatayin. Oh, bakit? Why? Ayan! Ang galing mo naman, te. Ay, ayan. Mas magaling si Zen. Sorry, Mops. Zen, mag-shift ka na. Ayan, congrats, Zen. I-next slide mo na, L. Ayan, thank you. Ay, wait lang. Mag-ano pala muna tayo. Mag-screenshot tayo. Yung attendance. Okay, on cam naman.
Akala ko nag-screenshot ka na kanina.
Ano? Hindi ko marinig.
Akala ko nag-screenshot ka na kanina.
Hindi. Kung mga mag-screenshot Ali. Your game na ba yun, Ollie? Nakamute ka. Ikaw lang ngumiti. Nakamute ka nga, T.
1, 2, 3.
Ayun, thank you. Yung mga nanalo, send Gcash. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you.